A very good morning to you wherever you are watching us from. Welcome to Elimu Live. I'll be your teacher, Mr. James Otula. I know there are stories of schools reopening, and I was following the previous lesson, the Entertainment Monday, and I heard some children are not willing to go back to school. Okay, today we shall be handling a very interesting topic, and I want you to be tuned. I want you to be there throughout the lesson, because I believe that there is always something new in every topic and every subtopic. So don't assume that you know. Don't assume that you know. Today we shall be talking about adjectives. Adjectives. We shall be handling adjectives. We shall be talking about adjectives. And I'll want to start by giving what we call the expectations or the objective of the lesson today. So you as a learner who is watching us today, by the end of this lesson, it will be my desire that you'll be able to, one, define adjectives. That will be number one. And I believe the number two I'll give when I'll be midway my lesson. But when you don't get everything, I want you to get this very important subtopic in this topic of today: order of adjectives. Order of adjectives. This is key. Order of adjectives. So when you don't get everything that I'll be teaching, remember to get this one right, because this one is commonly tested in class 7, class 8. So any learner outside there, and this topic goes even up to Form 1, Form 2 in high school. So it is not something that stops in class 7 or 8. And the class 6, my introduction to the lesson will be very helpful to you. So I'll start by defining adjectives. What are adjectives? I'll say that adjectives are, I'm using are because I put it in plural. If it were adjective, I'll say an adjective is. So I'll say that adjectives are words that are used. Words that are used to describe nouns and pronouns. Words that are used to describe nouns and pronouns. By this level, I believe you know what nouns are. A noun is a naming word, name of people, places, days of the week. Pronouns are words that are used in place of nouns. Words, when we use words like it, she, he, all these are pronouns. We use pronouns in place of nouns. So instead of saying Janet, I'll say she. So that is a pronoun. So adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns and pronouns. They answer questions such as what color were his shoes? What color were his shoes? I'll expect that you'll give me an answer like, they were red. They were red in color. They were red in color. So the word red here describes the shoes. And here I've used they now as a pronoun. I don't want to say that the shoes were red. So that is why I said that adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns and pronouns. So they were red in color. Adjectives, I'll say that adjectives will come, some adjectives come before or after nouns. Adjectives will come before or after nouns. They can also come, they can also be used after some verbs such as, I'll say e.g. am, is, were, are. Adjectives can also be used after a verb or after a noun. Adjectives can be used before or after a noun. I'll give an example. My example is she draws. She draws funny pictures. She draws funny pictures. Then we can also say her pictures are funny. Her pictures are funny. So we want to identify the adjective here. The noun being referred to here is the pictures. The adjective here is funny. She draws funny pictures. So in this case, an adjective has come before a noun, pictures. Her pictures are funny. This one is before, this one is after. Her pictures are funny. So funny has come after this one, and we call these ones auxiliary verbs. Now I'll move to the next bit. And our next bit will be we have types of adjectives. We have types of adjectives, and I want you to be very, very keen, because what children think are types of adjectives are not actually the types of adjectives. And I want you to use the WhatsApp handle that is appearing on your screen. If at all you'll have a question, I'll address it at the end or in between the lesson. So make good use of that handle that is appearing on your screen. Don't use my personal number, so that I want to address your issues as we move on. I'll start by talking about types of adjectives. And I want you to be very keen, because this is what very many children confuse. When they go to order of adjectives, what I said, order of adjectives. Order of adjectives will be the epic. This will be the key theme of our lesson today, order of adjectives, because there is always a connotation on which order people should follow. Today I want to give you what is in the syllabus. I'll go to the types of adjectives, and I'll start with the first one. The first type of adjective is adjectives of quality. There are basically 8. I'm teaching you types of adjectives so that you can know, you can identify an adjective in a sentence. Because sometimes you are given an assignment and you are told, underline the adjectives. Some people will say, this is not an adjective, this is an adjective. So I want to make it clear. Types of adjectives. The first one are adjectives adjectives of quality. Adjectives of quality. Adjectives of quality. And what are we told about adjectives of quality? That they show the kind of a person, one is, or a thing. Example, I'll give example in using words like, I'll give examples in sentence. Nairobi is an interesting. Nairobi is an interesting city. Nairobi is an interesting city. So in this sentence, Nairobi is an interesting city. We said that adjectives describe nouns. We are describing Nairobi. Which word is used here to describe Nairobi? Interesting. So the word interesting is an adjective of quality. And during I'll give some assignment here so that you will know why it is important to learn these types of adjectives. The next kind of adjectives that I'll talk about is adjectives of quantity. Adjectives of quantity. And from the word quantity, you realize that it's about numbers. So I'll say this one, answer the question of how much. Adjectives of quantity are used to answer the question of how much. They are mostly used with uncountable nouns. I'll give an example. Here, and I'll say there is much milk in the bottle. There is much milk in the bottle. So what has been used to describe the milk in the bottle here is much. So that is what we call the adjective of quantity. I'll move to the next type of adjective, and I'll do them very fast because it is not the theme of our lesson today. It is just important to know the types of adjectives. But there is nowhere where you'll be asked, which type of adjective was this? But you need to know when a word like interesting is used, it is an adjective. I'll move to adjectives. Adjectives of interrogation. Adjectives of interrogation. And from the word interrogation, you realize that it is asking questions. Adjectives that are used to ask questions. I want you to, if you are a good learner, we say in English, I do, you do, we do. So if you are a good learner at home, take your pen and write these things. Most of the times, these are not the things that we teach in class. We normally stick to those stories that we find in our storybooks. We go to the sentence patterns, then we call it a day. So I'll talk about adjectives of interrogation. And adjectives of interrogations, or they are called interrogative. In some books, you will find them called interrogative adjectives. They include the what, what, which, when, where. They mostly handle the WH questions. I'll give an example. Which horse won the race? Which horse won the race? Which horse won the race? So, which here has been used to interrogate about the, it is an interrogative adjective. It is describing, they want you to be specific about which horse. Is it the white horse, the brown one, or which one specifically? I'll move to the next one. The next one, number 4. Number 4 will be descriptive adjectives. Descriptive adjectives. And from just that title, descriptive, from the verb describe. So most of these adjectives are used to describe. An example, I'll say that they describe nouns. They describe nouns. We can use ones like round. Can talk of a round table. I said that I'll move very fast in these types of adjectives because you only need to know which word is an adjective and how they'll be used later. The next one is demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives. And what do we say about demonstrative adjectives? From the word demonstrate. And they indicate which one? They indicate which one? They indicate which one? Examples, I'll give this. When you come across ones like this, that, those, and these, all these are adjectives. Like I can say, this is the cat. This is the cat that drank your milk. This is the cat that drank your milk. So, in this sentence, we are demonstrating which cat drank the milk. This is the cat. So the word this here has been used as an adjective. I'll move to number 6. We've talked about descriptive, demonstrative. The next one now is distributive. I know these things are very strange to learners outside there. Distributive adjectives. Because most of the time we just dwell on what is in the textbook, not the syllabus. And we are told that they show the person or things denoted. Show the person or things denoted by the nouns. By the nouns, whether they are taken singly or as a group. Shows whether things are taken singly or as groups. Like ones that we can use here, each, all, every. Every. All these are distributive adjectives. An example I'll give in a sentence, I'll say, all the pupils wanted to go back to school. All the pupils wanted to go back to school. So the word all here has been used as a distributive adjective. I know this sentence, somebody may say, no, we don't want to go to school. You will go back to school, even if it will be after 3 years. One thing we are sure of is you will go back to school. Now, we move to number 7. We have talked about distributive adjective, we've talked about demonstrative adjective, descriptive adjective. So I want to move to number 7, and number 7 will be possessive. Possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives. And from the word possess, to own something. Show. I don't want to use they because I'm trying to be mean with words. They show ownership. They show ownership. E.g., his. Here you'll find words like his, her, their, and its. Those are some of the ones that you'll come across in possessive adjectives. I'll give an example. This is his pen. You'll be answering the question, whose pen is this? This is his pen. So here, we shall talk of possessive adjective. It is showing ownership. Then finally, I'll talk about compound. Compound adjectives. Compound adjectives. And the word compound, this one you find it, you'll get compound nouns. And from that lesson of compound nouns, you should know that it is a combination of two. So I'll say that compound adjectives are formed by combining two or more words or word phrases. Compound adjectives are formed by combining two or more words or word phrases. What we mean here is like, and give an example, words like bold-headed. So here I've combined two words. I've combined bold and combined headed. Another example I'll give here, I'll talk of this one. Maybe I'm describing a man, a bold-headed man. I can say three-legged stool. So all these are compound adjectives because we are now combining two. We can talk of old-fashioned. 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 All these falls under compound adjectives. I believe we are there up to that point. I began by describing what adjectives are, and I said that adjectives are simply ones that describe nouns or pronouns. They may come after or before nouns. And I went ahead to give examples of adjectives. I was giving these examples so that when you come across some of the words here, you will obviously know that this is an adjective. And I said that the epic of this lesson will be when we shall be talking about order of adjectives. I'm not yet there. I want to move to the next thing or the next item, and it will not take too long because I said that this lesson must be fit for all learners from class 5 to 8 and any other child who is beyond that level and all good English users. I'll move to comparison of adjectives. Comparison of adjectives. And we want to check how adjectives are compared. Sometimes you are given more items to compare. You are given 2 or 3 items to compare. And in comparison of adjectives, we always have 3 tables. We have the first column here for the positive degree. The positive degree. Then here we have the comparative degree. Then here we have the superlative degree. I'll start from the very basic. I'll give a word like big, and you know the comparative of big is bigger. Then the superlative is biggest. I'll now not give these regular ones. I'll give one like bad. The comparative of bad is worse. And the superlative is worst. This word bad, you can also use the word ill. So when you come across the word ill, the comparative form of word ill is worse, then worst. Then I'll move to a word like tall. We talk of taller and tallest. Then we have those words that we add more when it comes to comparative and most when it comes to superlative. Those words are words that have what we call the more than one syllable. Like when you have a one like dangerous. We cannot say, I don't know how I'll say it here, but when we were to follow this pattern, you'll get somebody saying dangerouser, dangerousest. No, that is wrong. We say more dangerous, and we talk of most dangerous. With this simple explanation of comparison of adjectives, I'll give the first quiz here. And the way we always do, answer it, give us your feedback through the WhatsApp handle that is given on your screen. Tell us where you are watching from. I'll give an example here. I'll want you to tell me. I'll want you to give me the answer to the questions that I'll be giving here. I'll put here quiz. And our number 1 here, of the twins, Jane is the dash. Is it taller, tallest, or tall? I want you to give me the answer to that question as we move on. Just use the WhatsApp handle that is given there. Then finally, I'll go to what is of great interest today. And what is of great interest today is order of adjectives. Order of adjectives. And order of adjectives is not the same as types of adjectives. We talk of order of adjectives because sometimes you are given many adjectives in one place and you are given them so that they can fit in one type of question. So when doing order of adjectives, we talk of a particular pattern. We use a particular pattern. You may get very many adjectives, the ones that we've learned. You may be given all of them, or 4 or 3 of them, to use in one sentence. So when dealing with the order of adjectives, we start from the first one. And the first one will always be a determiner. A determiner. The first one will always be a determiner. Or we give it determiners. Some people, here is where we also have the articles. I've written articles with very many T. Articles. And the same place we have numbers. We have words like here, some, and. Numbers are words like 3. We may talk of are. All these are determiners. The second one, we've talked of determiners. We are talking, and I've said that determiners entails numbers, articles, and all those. The second one will be opinion. Opinion. And when we talk about opinion, opinion is basically your judgment about something. Your judgment about something. Judgment about something or someone. Here we use words like beautiful. We use words like ugly. We use words like nice. All these. From opinion, we go to size. And as I continue writing, I want to give you more tests. So that you can add it to this one. They watched dash movie. I want you to order for me these adjectives in their correct pattern. Tom was sitting on dash. Here, I'll give, then the noun at the end of it is chair. Black, expensive, then we have comfortable. I want you to order for me those adjectives as time go by. So I've talked of adjectives of opinion, size. Size will actually tell you about the dimensions of an object. And ones that we can use to describe size are like huge, tiny. We can have words like small, big. We can have words like enormous. All these put together, and some are synonyms here. Then from size, we go to shape. Shape. Shape defines the form of an object. And I believe if at all you went through preschool, that is where shape is taught. Shape is taught, and you all know about shapes. Even if I were to go to a kindergarten school today, and it's funny that I may not get some in school today because you all know that we are out. Shape, we shall use words like square, square. We can use words like round. We can use words like oval, star. We can have words like rectangular. All these define shape. Then after shape, we talk of age. And when describing age, I believe you know what age is all about. But if I were to give the simple definition of age, I'll say that age is simply the duration of existence of an object or a person. Like if today I ask you, how old are you? You'll tell me maybe you are 12 years old. That will be your age. So in age, we shall use words like youthful. We can use words like a cake. We can use words like old. We have words like young. Words like ancient. Here we have more like modern. And the list is endless. You'll just know when to use age and which one is for age. After age, we go to color. After age, we move to color. And color, if I were to describe color, color is the spectral perspective of an object. The way your eyes interpret an object. We say that some people are colorblind. I don't know how somebody is colorblind. Which color? If you are colorblind, then you should not be seeing any color. But some people, you ask them red, they tell you it is maroon. You ask them blue, they tell you it is green. So such people are called colorblind. So when dealing with color, we have words like red, green, purple, colors. I know you can help me adding more colors here. When you are at home, blue. At home, you can add more colors. Maroon, violet. I know the girls are very good in colors. Then we go to after color. And remember, we are now talking about order of adjectives. They are not types of adjectives. They are order of adjectives. That you'll get very many words given together, and you are expected to put them in their correct order. Color. After color, we go to number 7, that is origin. Origin is simply the source. The source, or where something or a person comes from. That is what we call origin. The source of an item. Origin. And dealing with origin, I'll give words like, I'll talk of Kenyan, I'll talk of Ugandan, I'll talk of French. We can have desert. And I know this one must be new to very many learners because they always believe that origin must always be a country. But desert can also be an origin of a certain person or item or a thing. Like we can talk of desert rats, the rats that originate from the desert. So Kenyan will tell you that that item or the person actually originates from Kenya. Ugandan, French, from France. And I'll give you a test. Tell if something originates from Netherlands. Netherlands. A person who comes from Netherlands, what name do we give him? Like a person who comes from Kenya, we call him Kenyan. Now a person who comes from Netherlands, how do we call him? I want you to add it to the test that I've given you. I'm almost finishing and I see the feedback is amazing. I'll go to your question. Just keep on asking. I hope we shall find time to handle all of them. After origin, I'll go to material. Material. And from the word material alone, they describe the material that something is made of. Describes material something is made of. An example, we can use words like plastic here, a plastic cup. We can talk of a wooden chair. We can talk of wooden chair. We can talk of woolen. And I know there's a big problem in how we write woolen. Woolen, double O, double L, woolen. We can talk of nylon, nylon dress. So all these will tell you about material. We started by saying that the first one is determiner, articles, numbers. You can use any of them there. Then we have opinion, but the best word to use here is determiner because it encompasses all those. We've talked of opinion, we've talked of size, we've talked of shape, we've talked of age, we've talked of color, we went to origin, we've gone to material, then we go to the next one. After material, we go to purpose. Purpose. And this one is simply the use, the intended use. Let me write there, the intended use of an item. The intended use of an item. We can use words like knitting, like cooking stick. Most of these words end in ing. Cooking, we can talk of sleeping bag. Sleeping bag. Sleeping bag. When you come across these words that end in ig and with ing, you should know that they mostly talk about the purpose of that noun. Then finally, we come to noun, the noun itself. And most of the times you'll be given that noun. And we've said that noun is a naming word. This space is a bit wide. Noun is a naming word. Example, I'll talk of table, car, chair, and etc. So most of the time, children have developed a formula of mastering this order of adjectives. And they have always called it obsacomp, forgetting the first one here. And for them to make it easier, they always talk of N. This one covers the determiners and the articles. Then OP, they talk of no. Then the 2S. Then age, nosa, color, origin, material, purpose. Then we have the noun. And that noun will always be given. So there is no need of putting it here. So with the time, this formula has helped children to know the order of adjectives, nosacomp. I believe up to that point, we are together. Let me go through your feedback very fast. Hello, my name is Edwin Vulimi from Soy. I'm class 7, and my question is, what is the difference between adjective and a verb? Edwin, adjective, we say that adjectives describe, adjectives describe nouns or pronouns. Adjectives describe nouns or pronouns. A verb. Edwin, this is a very good question, by the way, because very many children don't know how to describe a verb, adverb. No, he's asking about adverb, not a verb. Adverb. And that is a very good question. Adverbs, just from adverb, meaning that something is added to the verb. So adverbs modify. They modify verbs. Adverbs modify verbs. Like an example I'll give, Ashley walked hurriedly. So this one here is an adverb. It is adding something to the way Ashley walked. It is telling us how the verb happened. Hi Mwalimu, this is Nema Brittany from Nakuru. Nice lesson. Is there any formula on the order of adjectives? I believe your answer is, you've gotten your answer, Nema Brittany from Nakuru. Teacher, good morning. Is tall an adjective? This is Mary Kamunyo from Nakuru. Mary, tall is an adjective. Why is it an adjective? Like if I say Mary is a tall girl. Mary is a tall girl. So when you want to pick Mary from the rest of the group, you'll go for the tall girl in that place. Mary is a tall girl. So tall is an adjective. I'm Elvis from Karachi. Where do we place the adjectives in a sentence? Is it after the noun? Both. I think I gave an example when I started on how adjectives can come before and after. I gave that example. Like I said that she draws funny pictures. She draws funny pictures. So picture, funny is the adjective. It has come before picture, which is the noun. Then her pictures are funny. Her pictures are funny. Picture is the noun. Funny is the adjective. Here, funny has come after the noun. Morning, teacher. It's Joy from Ngong. Ngong is, Jane is the tallest. Oh, there, you've started giving me the answer to that one. I'll go through it. Of the twin, Jane is the tallest. That is Ivanso answering. This is Imelda from Embu. The answer is taller because twins are two. Imelda is saying taller. My name is Stacy. Could you kindly repeat distributive adjectives? Stacy, we say that distributive adjectives, if I were to go to my lesson, I'll simply describe it as they show that the person or things denoted by the nouns are taken singly or group. Like here, each child got a trophy. Each child got a trophy. So each year will tell us about the distributive adjective, how those trophies were given, each child. Then, Marriott from Kitale. We have Marion from Busia. Thank you for the lesson. The answer is, to the question is, of the twins, Jane is the tallest. Marriott, I think, taller. Hi, teacher. This is Eunice from Kisii. My answer is tallest. Tallest is the answer. Mercy watching from Kiambu. The answer is Jane is the tallest. I'm Wangeshi from Nyeri. The answer for number 2, boring, long story, long movie, comfortable, expensive, comfortable, black chair. Hello, I'm Jedida from Meru. In which category does tattered and three-legged fall in the order of adjectives? Let me give the answer to this one because I've seen that the feedback are just too many and we may not have time to answer all the questions. So of the twins, Jane is the taller. There's somebody who got this question right. Of the twins, because twins are two, it is a comparison. It is not yet a superlative. We say that Jane is the tallest in the class, a class that has more than 2. But of the twins, Jane is the taller. So taller here is a comparative form of adjective. They watched a dash movie. Here we have to arrange these ones. And we start with the way we've given our order here. R will fall in the first place. Roman will be about the origin. Roman will be origin. This is how to go about it. Then boring is an opinion, your judgment of the movie. Boring. Then long is the length or the size. So our answer will be a long, boring Roman movie. A long, not a long, a boring, we first a boring long movie. So it is a boring long Roman movie. Then the last one, Tom was sitting on comfortable, expensive black chair. Because all these two are adjectives, but we start with the adjective of quality. Comfortable, adjective of quality. That is why I started by explaining the different types of adjectives that we have. Comfortable, expensive, black chair. With that, boys and girls, I see the time may not be on our side. And I want to thank you very much for having attended our lesson. Until next time, God be with you. I've been your teacher, Mr. James Otula. Thank you.